Hello, you stupid motherfuckers. So, in the last video that I made about backtracking and all of this shit, I made quite a big error. Well, not really. I mean, I was under the impression that it is the way I told you guys, I just misunderstood. So, yeah, I told you guys the wrong thing, and so I make a new video with a completely recoded backtrack window Unity project, and I will show you pretty much everything, and it's super nicely designed now. It's basically HD remastered version of the other game that I made, if you can call this a game. So let's hop right in. Here is the game. So this player here, as you can see, just looks normal with a normal dick and quite nice big boobs. I'm sorry. And we have the same graphics here with 0 server side, 200 server side. I'm going to explain you everything in detail. Okay, so this here, current, is basically what you see without cheats. So if you just play the game, that's what you see. At the moment we have a ping of 30 milliseconds. You're playing on a server that's somewhere in Europe. You live in Europe, you play on the server, right? Let's assume you play with the friend that lives in America, right? And you're still in Europe. So you would get 150 ping, something like that, right? So here is, as you can see, the person is running to the left. Basically, that's what it's trying to show. And so on the server, he would be already on this line. Okay, so you're seeing the data delayed by 150 milliseconds, right? And you used to go, basically all the range. It doesn't really matter. I'm gonna come to that later. I don't want to confuse you. So this here is basically what you see on your PC, on your client. You just play the game, you see this guy here, and he's delayed by a little bit. But you don't really care. It doesn't matter for you, because if you shoot at him, he's dead, right? And let's assume you're playing with somebody like me. You're in Europe, I'm in Zimbabwe. You have a 250 ping, right? I guess it's somewhere here, right? Now, no problem at the moment, You can still shoot him. And the problem, or the error I made in the last video, is what I said is, if the guy is somewhere in here, then everything is fine, You can hit him. So as long as you have a 200 milliseconds ping, you can hit him fine if you play legit, right? That was wrong. If you have actually, you can have a 400 milliseconds ping and still hit him. So if you were like that, and you're, well, as I said, if you're playing on a 400 ping, you can still hit him, even though the value is 200. We're gonna come back to that later in a second. So they changed the SV max unlock value to 0.2, and everyone was like, oh shit, we're fucked. But the guy in my stream, his name is Jan4V, I think. Sorry if I say that wrong. He came up to me and said that I'm a retard and everything still works as intended, right? So he gave me a source SDK link that I have seen about 2,000 times already, and after rethinking everything, and he's telling me like 20 times that it actually is the way he's saying, and I'm thinking about it, and then I realize it actually is the way it is, the way he's saying. So even if you have a 400 milliseconds ping, you can still kill everyone in the game. It does not matter. So if you have a very shit PC, a shit internet connection, and you live on the moon, you can still kill people if you're below 400 milliseconds. That being said, I'm gonna come to that right now, because before I give you guys too much information on what's going on. Now let's assume you have a normal ping, okay? And I have no idea how I get out of this shit. No. Alright, we're just gonna exit out. Turn on the backtracking. Okay, now you inject your cheat and you want to see what the hell is going on, right? I have nice color code, by the way, don't worry about it. Boom. Okay, now it's confusing for you guys. No. I'm gonna leave this running. So here, the guy that is not colored, the guy or the girl, you judge. The guy that is not colored is the current position. Okay, and without fake latency, this one would be right on him. Okay, so your current and your real ping is the same. So even because you don't have fake latency, it's the same value, right? You're not faking it. So at this point, what you can do is from your current point, without fake latency, from your current point, you can backtrack 200 milliseconds. Even though it's beyond the 200 value, it is still possible. And that's why if you have a shit ping, right, like this, 340, then you can still go all the way to 400 because you're sending a tick, right? On the server, can you guys see that? That's interesting. On the server, the one in white, this guy here, or gray or whatever, on the server, the guy clamps it, the server clamps it to this value, right? And, you know, so the position is there, but you still have the backtrack window. And since you're still shooting at this tick, the server is going to compensate it. So even though the server thinks that you're centered here, he's still going to shoot at this tick. So he's going to move the player back there and then shoot at him or simulate the shot. So theoretically, what you can do is you take your current player, right, the one you see on screen, right, and then you do fake latency to 200, right, like that, boom. So you have current plus the fake latency 200. And I was doing some black magic garbage to get exactly to the 200 value, because I thought this needs some proper stuff, proper fixing, you know. So I basically tried to get as close as possible to the 200 value, to the 0.2 value, so I can backtrack the maximum range, which is absolutely motherfucking useless. You don't need to give a shit about anything. You can just set your ping to 900, because the server is gonna put him on this position anyways. So if you have a 50 real ping, and then you set fake latency to 900, so you have 950 ping, then the server is going to put him there, and you can still shoot from the current to the red one, just like that. You know, it's that easy. So, and then there's the yellow. You know, the yellow is basically just forward tracking. You always can do that, especially right now, because you know, basically because you only have this 400 milliseconds window. You know, you have 200 forwards, 200 backwards, you have the current here, and if you want to have the absolute maximum range, you can also forward track the 50 milliseconds from here to there, but it's really not necessary. You don't have to do it. You can do it, you know, to get an apps, because if you have like a 160 ping, then you can backtrack from here to there and all the way back there, but you're missing this part here. So if you have an actual high ping, it kind of sucks, but you can still forward track between the yellow and the current position. So yeah, I mean, that's all you need to know. You know, basically, long story short, the gray guy is not gonna get beyond 200. He's always gonna be here. He's clamped on the server. He's not gonna get further. But you still have the 200 backtrack window on top of the 200. So yeah, basically you can have an easy 350 backtrack window if you have a 50 ping. That's it. And if you care, what I'm doing right now to piss off all the legits, every time the round starts, I randomize my fake latency. So I take a value between 200 and 1000, or 0.2 and 1, and I apply that to my fake latency. So I have every round a different ping. You know, in the first round I have a 300 ping, next round I have 900, the round afterwards I have 500, maybe I have after that 500 again, then I have 250, and so on and so forth. It's pissing them off. I'm not joking. I played one game and the guy said, "Oh my god, you're lagging all over the place." I wasn't lagging. I wasn't lagging even in the slightest. I had a 15 milliseconds actual ping to the server, you know. This guy was coming up with fucking excuses why he sucks dicks at this game, you know. He came around the corner, hid behind the other corner, and I was like, he did, man. He did. And by the way, thanks to Snowyy, almost forgot. Thanks to Snowyy, who was also in the stream the other day, who gave me a hint that I actually don't even need to, you know, try to get as close as possible to the 200 window. He said something like, my code is shit, and I thought about it, and it was actually shit. So yeah, I fixed it, you know. You just go bam, all the way back there. Does not matter. Does not matter. Does not matter. And now go out there and fuck them up. And if you play in my game, you're on the enemy team, you're not gonna backtrack me, okay? Because I gave you the info. So you be thankful and just surrender when you see me, okay? I'm the grey-haired diva developer. Signing out.